Dear viewers, we are opening our phone lines. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you because everybody loves to watch a very close fought India-Pakistan contest. But what is at stake for young cricketers? What happens when they are not able to perform? Do they deserve the abuses? They deserve the criticism for sure. But they don't deserve abusive, trolling, targeting their religion. I'm talking about Indian cricketer Arshdeep Singh, who's facing a lot of flack for dropping a catch. We all agreed was a sitter. He dropped a catch at a very crucial stage of the India-Pakistan nail-biter. It was during Ravi Bishnoi's 18th over when the young pacer dropped a sitter of Asif Ali that led to a massive momentum shift as Asif went on to smash Bhuvaneshwar Kumar in the next over. Angry fans went after Arshdeep, trolling and targeting him with brutal memes. But the cricketing fraternity and many fans have also come in support of Arshdeep and have backed him, saying that a mistake shouldn't define the cricketer. Even Virat Kohli said that anyone can make mistakes under pressure.
नहीं, प्रेशर में देखिए गलती किसी से भी हो सकती है और बड़ा मैच है, सिचुएशन भी थोड़ी टाइट थी, तो हम सब ने मतलब मुझे याद है मैं पहली बार चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी खेला था पाकिस्तान के अगेंस्ट, मेरा पहला मैच था और मैंने एक बहुत ख़राब शॉट मारा था शाहिद अफरीदी को और मैं 5 बजे तक सुबह सिर्फ सीलिंग को देख रहा था, मुझे नींद नहीं आ रही थी, तो मुझे लगा मैं तो वापस कभी चांस नहीं मिलेगा, मेरा करियर ख़त्म हो गया। तो ये सब चीज़ें नेचुरल है फील करने के लिए, लेकिन सीनियर प्लेयर आपके आसपास आते हैं, कल हम लोग एज ए टीम फिर इकट्ठा होंगे, तो जब माहौल अच्छा होता है तो फिर आप उस चीज़ से सीखते हैं और अगली बार अगर वैसी अपॉर्चुनिटी आए तो आप लुक फॉरवर्ड करते हैं कि यार दोबारा मेरे पास क्या आनी चाहिए।
All right, so the numbers are flashing on our screens. You can call us and share your views. My colleague Karishma joins us for more on this. Karishma, everyone loves a close contest, but the aftertaste of a defeat is so bitter nowadays that when we see players like Mohammad Shami or Arshdeep being trolled, it's sad because their religions are being targeted. There are memes that are specifically targeting their community. What has happened suddenly? Because the last time we saw Virat Kohli did back Mohammad Shami as a captain. This time around, Virat Kohli also took a step forward and supported him. But the kind of feedback that Arshdeep is getting is a bit too harsh.
Well, yes, absolutely. It is too harsh, the kind of criticism that is coming Arshdeep's way. And if it was for the catch that he dropped, possibly it would be acceptable to Arshdeep as well. But the fact is that these Pakistani trolls are calling him a Khalistani leader, Khalistani soldier, PM of New Khalistan and voice of New Khalistan. In fact, people have gone on to his Wikipedia page, edited it and mentioned Khalistan over there as well. The IT ministry taking note of it and saying that we have summoned the Wikipedia officials because this is something that is not acceptable and internet needs to be a trusted space for everyone. So clearly Arshdeep Singh, the 23-year-old bowler who is at the receiving end of all this hate from Pakistan, obviously, is starting out at the moment. So it's very uncalled for, unnecessary what is happening with Arshdeep Singh, and the government of India also stepping in to ensure that this blatant social media trolling somehow stops and, people responsible for this kind of trolling, merciless trolling, are accounted for. So that is what the government of India has done, and we've seen how the entire country has stood in support of Arshdeep Singh on social media. When we check Twitter, the I stand with Arshdeep hashtag is also trending. So clearly Arshdeep has all the support and everyone just wants him to concentrate on the ongoing tournament, which is the Asia Cup, and answer with his actions.
Thank you, Karishma, for joining us on the broadcast. We also have a special guest on the broadcast, Nikhil Sharma, sports commentator and author. Nikhil, thank you so much for making time and speaking to Mirror Now. I wish we could talk about sports and the beautiful game of cricket, but unfortunately, we are having a conversation about a very young cricketer who's performed and shown in the past, but dropped a catch and is facing some of the most ugly abuses in his career so early. What do you make of this entire controversy?
Well, Archana, first and foremost, I don't think he had a bad match. As far as, his performance is concerned, he's in the team primarily as a bowler. And if you consider yesterday's bowling, I think he performed admirably well. Unfortunately, as a bowling unit, completely India kind of didn't live up to the expectations. Some of the seniors like Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Hardik Pandya, and Yuzi Chahal, had an off day, but not this young man. I thought he bowled brilliantly well. He dropped a catch at a very important juncture as far as the match was concerned, with Asif Ali, punishing India post that drop catch. But I think that could happen to anybody. Anybody who's played cricket understands that dropping catches is part and parcel of the game. I also believe that the entire, trolling culture has kind of become some sort of a business of, trending media, trending social media. A lot of people now come on to it for their own ulterior motives, which might not necessarily be cricket or sports. Anyone and everyone who's played the sport or who's a fan of sport and loves India knows that the boy is very, very talented. He would never ever do something, that
Right.
I don't think he'd be proud of himself at what happened. And as Mr. Kohli said in his press conference, he'd now be smarting to get another chance to prove to everybody that he'd want that chance again and to make amends for whatever happened. So all in all, not very nice. It's you spend all the time and effort into watching matches. You don't want to see your country lose, but such is the nature of sport. One team wins, and unfortunately,
Right.
Pakistan played better yesterday than India slightly, but they were the better team. And unfortunately, the brunt of all of this has to be borne by the young Arshdeep Singh.
Right. Nikhil, hold that thought. Please stay on with us. We're also getting a lot of callers on the broadcast because it's very important to hear the voices of the people of this country, because we do not know who are these unnamed people on the internet who are indulging in this name calling. I'm joined by Colonel Inder Khanna from Dehradun. Sir, thank you for calling us. Please go ahead.
To say it is sad and unfortunate that he dropped a simple catch, but this happens in a game always. The best of players drop catches. Ask Kohli, ask Sunil Gavaskar if there's not dropped catches. He's such an outstanding player. Why are you crucifying him at this young age and spoiling his career? I mean, it is so sad. I will quote a similar example of best of footballers like Pele and Cristiano Ronaldo and all missing simple penalty shots. So how can you just troll him? On the contrary, I would like to say the people who didn't live up to expectations was Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya, who gifted their wickets yesterday. I mean, that's what I feel. They should have played a better game rather than playing silly shots.
Mm-hmm.
Please look after this young boy. He deserves all the sympathy.
Right.
And deserves it. That's all I would like to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for calling us and sharing your views on this big story. Nikhil, another point I want to understand from you is, and of course, I think you mentioned in your first answer also, there is a trend that is being seen. And at the outset, I want to say that these are unnamed people. We don't know who they are, who's calling the shots. Is there an IT cell that's operating that? We don't know that yet. But there is a trend where cricketers' religions are being targeted. Whether it was Mohammad Shami, whether it's Arshdeep Singh, it's an ugly and dangerous trend that is rearing its ugly head. Do you think it's going to get worse in the coming time? Because the expanse of social media is such that everybody, it's a democratic field, it's a democratic setup. But it is going to get ugly in the coming time. And I hope I'm wrong.
Well, unfortunately, Archana, as things stand today, you will not be wrong. This is going to happen. It's a double-edged sword, social media. We love to trend on it. We want more and more people to hear our voices. It's given voice to, people sitting in far-flung areas, sometimes nameless, faceless. Even voices are being heard through the words and not necessarily the spoken word. So unfortunately, this double-edged sword has caused, problems plenty for not just cricketers, but for people in the public eye by and large. And it is extremely unfortunate. Whoever has followed or played sport at any level knows, how people playing the sport essentially come together as a unit. There's very little consideration for what somebody's religion is, as long as you respect and honor where somebody comes from, and they come together to play as a unit to win for the country. These people who are playing, players like Arshdeep Singh, are the best of the best that India has. India has a religion called cricket, which is above every other religion, and then to get an athlete of his caliber, somebody who played fairly well yesterday. I thought he bowled brilliantly well, even under pressure in the last over.
Yeah.
He did really well. So anybody, I think there's a little bit of what you call the business of these memes and trends, and people want to ride on those ulterior motives, which might be to hurt somebody, might be to hurt a religion, a particular, or just in general, or just to start trending and become viral, so that you could earn some money out of the whole thing. I don't think anybody who's judicious, who understands the sport, who's loved it and followed it all their life, can ever blame and troll. You can always blame. All the cricketers and people in the public eye are always susceptible, and they should accept public criticism. I'm sure they understand that. But trolling and calling names and saying things based on religion, ethnicity, all of these are in very, very bad taste.
Right.
I would like to call all of those people who are genuine supporters of the sport to not encourage these things, to not forward these messages on WhatsApp in the name of fun.
Absolutely.
Or for that matter, any other social media.
Yeah, and sport is a great equalizer, and in every possible way. And it's unfortunate to see this. Nikhil, please wait. I'm also joined by another caller, Anirban from Kolkata. Anirban, thank you for calling us. Please go ahead. What do you want to share? What is your view on this entire controversy?
Hello.
Yes, Anirban.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to put in my 2 cents on this episode. Firstly, this seems to be a rerun of the Mohammad Shami incident. Now, there are two aspects to this. One, we will criticize our players, our team, our governments. It's our birthright. And if anyone has made a mistake, they need to be brave enough and matured enough to take the criticism. That's one. The second part is that whether it was the Mohammad Shami incident or the Arshdeep Singh incident, we are getting enough and more proof on social media that this is the handiwork of Pakistani journalists, ISI bots, Pakistani citizens, etc. Unfortunately, some Indians are getting influenced by it, but the mischief making is clearly beginning in Pakistan. But what we are noticing over here is that some Indians immediately, without having fact checked, get on board and start tweeting that India is so horrible and Indians are so nasty, etc. This really needs to stop. We don't need to react so fast. I think there should be better sense amongst everybody. Thank you.
Anirban for calling Mirror Now. I'm also joined by another caller, Mehdi Hassan, who's joining from Mumbai. Mehdi Hassan, thank you so much for calling Mirror Now. Please go ahead. What is your view on this ugly tale of harassment and trolling of cricketer Arshdeep Singh?
Hi, this is Mehdi from Mumbai. I would like to say on this, it was just a drop catch. That guy is just 19 years old. It was a pressure. He's playing against Pakistan. It's an Asia Cup. Okay, it was a drop catch. Just see how well he bowled the last over. It was only 7 runs required. He got the ball. He took the match to the 5 balls. And all this, we forgot what Chahal and Bhuvneshwar Kumar did. Chahal was being scored by more than 40 runs. Bhuvneshwar was being hit by 19 runs in the 19th over. Catch drop is a part and parcel of a game. It's going to be dropped. So this should not be happen with that guy. He should be supported. Virat Kohli and Rohits should come and say in front of the media that we are with him. He should be with us. So we should be with him. We should tell him that, yeah, you are a part of our team. All these things happen.
So you're saying it's important to show support and solidarity to Arshdeep Singh at the moment, and it's lovely to see the kind of callers that we are getting from across the country, from Kolkata, Dehradun and Mumbai, where people are showing their support and solidarity. But everybody is saying that it's fair to criticize a player when they're not performing, but it's unfair to criticize them basis their religion, basis their ethnicity. We will continue to take your voices. Nikhil, another important aspect that I want to understand from you is that every player goes through a rough patch. There's history, there's record about every player's lean patch and the kind of turnaround they have managed, the kind of comeback they have managed, and that's a story worth telling. In your memory, do you have any such examples where somebody failed at their start and went on to script their name in the history books? In fact, Virat Kohli himself yesterday said that he did go through a similar patch and he was staring at the ceiling till 5 a.m. in the morning.
Well, it's a global fact that nobody's ever going to remain at the helm. Nobody's ever going to remain at those, for sports people, it's an endless pit sometimes when you're out of form. Your mind is at war. And imagine an athlete, a cricketer of Virat Kohli's stature saying that. I mean, he's by and large one of the best batsmen that world cricket will ever see, has ever seen. People have compared him to Sachin Tendulkar. And if he says that I've had bad moments, I mean, I think yesterday's press conference that Virat Kohli's had, he was very candid. He spoke of all the times that he's been insecure. He's had a tough time. He spoke about his, giving up his test captaincy. But there are numerous examples, Archana. It's just when you embrace sport, when you start playing, when you enter the ruthless world of professional sports, wherein, you are basically exposing you to the ups and downs of a very high magnitude as far as these athletes are concerned, not just in cricket, but any other sport. You look at the best ever athlete in my books, that, track and field athlete that India has had. And Neeraj Chopra will tell you that, for the 2 years preceding the Tokyo Olympics, he was injured, he was out, he's had such a bad time just coping up with his injury, and then to come and win the Olympic gold was such a huge high. And mind you, he's kind of kept that intensity going. Will it last forever? No. Absolutely every athlete knows that, whether it's Saina Nehwal, whether it's PV Sindhu, whether it's, Gopi Chand, almost everybody's had those ups and downs. It's how you deal with those ups and downs that makes you the champion athlete that you are. And almost all of these cricketers that are currently playing for India, that's the highest level that you could ascertain that you're demigods. You've been accorded the status of demigods in India when you play for India. Almost all of them would have gone through the ups and downs, including Rohit Sharma. KL Rahul has been out for quite some time with injury. It takes a huge toll mentally and physically to play at that high level for so long. And when you do that, you've just got to take that rough with the smooth and ride it out.
Well said, Nikhil. We are joined by another caller, Anil Grover from Mumbai. Mr. Anil Grover, thank you for calling Mirror Now. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I just want to say that this little boy, who is not even 6 matches old, he's in his teens. For God's sake, leave him. Leave that he is a Sardar or whatever he is. The troll which is coming in is really, really bad. What about Bhuvneshwar? He is more than 100 matches old. He gave 19 runs. Nobody is talking about him. But why? This little boy morale is totally crashed. Look at his face when he's standing behind KL Rahul. It is really sad. One should give it up. People, those who are trolling him, they should think twice before writing anything. It is very easy to write. But what happens to the players?
Right.
Like just now, this one, Virat Kohli was saying that I was just staring at the ceiling. It is sad, really sad. Please. It was of course, no doubt, it was a do or die match, but still, they played better than us.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the way to actually look at it, that they were a better team. That's the way to look at it. Thank you so much, Anil Grover, for calling us and sharing your views and such balanced views on this story. I'm joined by another caller. Rohit is calling us from Mumbai. Rohit, thank you for calling Mirror Now. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, ma'am. I just wanted to say that there's been a trolling culture going on. It's not only in cricket, it's in Bollywood, it's in politics, it's everywhere, ma'am. So I just think that the trolling culture should stop as such. I mean, so trolls trolling us on Twitter, Facebook, and all such parts of social media. Just stop.
Right. All right.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you so much. And I agree with you, Rohit, that there is a culture that's getting a lot of prominence on social media. But that's, as Nikhil also said, that it's a two-edged sword. Thank you for calling us. We're also joined by Anandganjal, who's calling us from Mumbai. Anand, thank you for calling Mirror Now. What do you have to say about this harassment and trolling of Arshdeep Singh? Please go ahead.
Yeah, ma'am, good evening.
Good
First of all, regarding the performance, I think he has bowled very brilliantly. On the one side, you can check, he has bowled approximate 4 overs, he has given 27 runs. And your experienced bowler almost has given 10 runs per over. That is, Chahal has given 43, and Pandya has given around 44 or 45 runs. So that doesn't mean he is just a young cricketer at the age of 19 years. So I think it is a long way to go. The long career is ahead of him. Just trolling him, he will get upset and the career will get ended. So my suggestion will be that let the young pacer get the time and be in the Indian team stronger. That's it, ma'am.
All right, lovely thoughts there. Thank you so much, Mr. Anand, for speaking to Mirror Now and calling us. And that's very important, Nikhil. By far, all the callers that have come on our broadcast have called us. You know, it's heartwarming to see the kind of support that is pouring in, and these are the fans. You know, like I said, it's okay to criticize, because when you are a public figure, you open yourself to scrutiny, and these are the fans, these are the supporters that actually mean to the players, that they make a lot of difference. And these are the people who are saying that he's a young cricketer, cut him some slack. You know, criticize him on the basis of his performance, and a lot of them echoed what you said, that his performance was great in the last match, and especially the last over when under pressure he took that crucial wicket. So these are the people, and not the ones, those unnamed trolls who are abusing Arshdeep Singh.
Well, absolutely, Archana. You know, I think everybody spoke so well. You know, all of them seem to be very heavily invested in the sport. Genuine cricket fans, had numbers coming up as well. One of the things that, of course, you know, was not right, the fact that he's 23 years old and not a teenager anymore. So he has, you know, slightly more mature shoulders than what a teenager would have. But I absolutely, you know, agree 100% with what Colonel Khanna said, with what Anirbans said, and the rest of the speakers said as well. Also, few of them, you know, were fairly straightforward as far as their criticism for the other bowlers is concerned, you know, and they're right there. I think we should be in a position, I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Hardik Pandya, Yuzi Chahal, should all of them be, you know, should kind of raise their hands and say, look, we didn't have the best of the day. Also, I think even if somebody's not had the best of the day, we have to support them. At the end of the day, these are chosen representatives of our country. Once they take on the field, if they don't perform well, by all means, we should be able to criticize them. Trolling is mostly faceless, is mostly nameless. People who want to hide behind keyboards and you know, monitors which we cannot see, they come and troll. And of course, as I said, there could be ulterior motives that, you know, most of the normal people can't really fathom. Absolutely. To give it a name, to give it a religion, to give it a country name, I don't think is fair. I think whoever does that, it's one of the worst kind of activity that you can involve yourself in. It helps your cause today, but I think we should be more. We as cricket fans, we as a nation should be more aware of the fact that what it takes to get to that level of playing the sport, and be very
Absolutely,
respectful
absolutely.
of all of these athletes.
And speaking of fans, Nikhil, I'm joined by two callers on the broadcast. Let's take the first caller, Kashif, who's joining us from Rajkot. Kashif, thank you so much for calling. Good evening. What is it that you have to say? Please go ahead.
Thanks for giving me an opportunity to say a few words. Right, now the social media, I think the cricketers should not mind the social media, which is full of such rubbish things. Look here, one thing. Because at chaiwalas, galla, pan gallas, right, what people are talking is being stuffed on social media nowadays. 10, 15 years ago, we were not having any social media, but we had the critics. So the critics will come forward and criticize a little bit. That is very important for a player who is not performing well on the ground. That is okay, because a critic has got two views. Now, these social media abusers, they don't have, anything to do except to troll such young players who has a budding talent. Definitely, he can do wonders in future. You never know, right? So I think there should be some regulations on such this thing, right? But unfortunately, it is not there. But on the other side, I must say that being a critic, I'm a sports writer. Okay. Arshdeep, he was not playing in a IPL match. He was not playing an ordinary match. He was representing India in a very, very important match against Pakistan. And he floored the catch, right? As if he was playing with a duck. Look here. His hands were not folding up. His hands were down. So the ball naturally fell down. So a real critic will point it out. The next time you take a catch, be careful. Our fielding coach, I don't know whether it is Sridhar or someone else right now, they should point it out that, yes, it was your fault, and he must accept it with all grace, right? But you're absolutely right. It's a good topic that you have come up with, that social media should behave with some sort of responsibility to such player, because it will definitely come down very heavily on his moral. Okay, fine.
Yes, absolutely. Well said, Mr. Kashif, and thank you so much for weighing in. And as we said, that fair criticism is always welcome. Whatever you pointed out was valid on so many fronts. Thank you for calling us. Another caller is joining us from Jaipur. Noel is on the line with us. Noel, thank you for calling Mirror Now. Please go ahead.
Thank you for giving me a chance to air my views. You know, this catch that he dropped yesterday, you just go back 2 matches ago when they played the first match, and when he caught Babar Azam, everybody was applauding him. And yesterday he dropped a catch, and look at the way our shameless trollers are trolling him and abusing him. Look, this youngster Arshdeep, you look at him, he's got tremendous talent and potential. The world needs, left-arm bowlers like him. I'll give you an example. Look at Mitchell Starc from Australia. Look at Trent Bolt from New Zealand. Look at Afridi from Pakistan. We badly lack a left armer. And this youngster, this guy has got tremendous potential, and he's such a cool guy. The catch that he dropped yesterday was just one of those things. His position on the field, his fingers pointing upwards, was perfectly fine. But then in the heat of the moment, anything can happen. I've seen Kohli drop catches. I've seen Azharuddin drop catches. I've seen the best of fielders in the world drop catches. But the way our trolls in India, our trollsters in India, abuse our, cricketers and our stars and all that, it's very shameful, very, very shameful. These trollsters have no idea, have no knowledge. All they do is sit the whole day and abuse and abuse and abuse. I remember Sunil Gavaskar saying once after a match in Kanpur against the West Indies, when Marshall had him caught behind. And then, of course, there was no social media. But our critics also, they are as bad as the trollsters. When I look back over the years, I see them as bad as the trollsters. Gavaskar was caught off a fast outswinger behind the wicket. And the critics next day in the papers, they gave him hell. And when he was asked, I can still remember, this is about 40 years ago. I can still remember Sunil Gavaskar saying, look, our Indian media are the most fickle and the most inconsistent in the world. He says on one day they'll put you up on a pedestal and the next day they'll lock you down. He said, had I connected that ball and I cut that ball and it had connected and gone flying past third man, everybody would have applauded me and said, what a shot. He says, not that I haven't played this shot before, but I've played this shot before and I've got runs. And there are times that I'm going to get out. And Marshall is a great bowler. But He says, I'm sorry to say, our Indian media, our Indian critics, one day they'll put you up there on a pedestal and the next day they'll bring you crashing down. So don't only blame the trolls, of course they're a gang of useless, empty-headed bunch.
Yes. Absolutely. Thank you so much, sir, for that comprehensive perspective. It actually adds to a lot of gravitas on the broadcast. Your views matter. Thank you so much for calling us. And it's time for a mega exclusive. And when I started this broadcast, I drew a parallel of this ugly controversy with that of Mohammad Shami. On the broadcast, we have that exclusive conversation with Mohammad Shami on what he had to say on this entire Arshdeep Singh episode. Take a look.
आपके साथ भी हो चुका है वर्ल्ड T20 के टाइम पर।
आपको कोई कंट्रोवर्सी करानी है क्या?
सर मुझे कंट्रोवर्सी नहीं करानी है सर, कंट्रोवर्सी तो हो रही है ना। पाकिस्तानी ट्रोल्स ऑलरेडी अर्शदीप को ये सब बोल रहे हैं, खालिस्तानी वगैरह। तो मैं सिर्फ आपसे जानना चाह रही थी कि आप रिसीविंग एंड पे रह चुके हो। सर आप जो बोलना चाहो अर्शदीप के सपोर्ट में।
सारे लोग बोल रहे हैं कि जानबूझ के कोई नहीं करता, जो कंट्री खेलता है उसको क्या हर्ट होता है उसको पता है। अगर किसी में मैं तो पहले भी बोल चुका हूँ, जिसमें दम हो वो अपने रियल अकाउंट पे आके बोले ना, फेक अकाउंट से तो कोई भी बोल सकता है। समझे? ये उसने कुछ जानबूझ के तो नहीं किया। प्लेयर है, मशीन थोड़ी ना है, बिल्कुल वही तस्वीर इंसान है। आज ऐसा तो है नहीं कि एक्चुअली मैं पहली जिंदगी में कवर को कैच छूटा था, स्लीप से छूटा
जी,
ऐसा तो है नहीं
सर। और ये पाकिस्तान से बार बार होता है, जब मैच इंडिया हार जाता है तो
हमेशा होता आया है। और मुझे जो लगता है ना कि ये लोग इसी की फिराक में रहते हैं, कुछ लोग ऐसे होते हैं। हाँ, तो एक ही चीज बोलना चाहूँगा, इन लोगों को ध्यान ना दिया जाए कि प्लेयर हमेशा 100% देते हैं, देते आए और देते हैं। उसकी सपोर्ट में पूरे इंडिया के सारे प्लेयर खड़े हैं, देश खड़ा है। तो ऐसी सोचने वाली बात नहीं है, मैच हार की सोचती रहती है।
ठीक है, थैंक यू सर।
ये लोग तो बच्चे इसलिए होते हैं कि कमियां निकालते हैं किसी न किसी। एक अच्छा प्लेयर, एक टैलेंटेड प्लेयर जो कंट्री के लिए खेल रहा है, उसका मोरल डाउन करने की बजाय अगर एक साथ सब लोग उसको बिल्ड करें तो हम और भी बेटर कर सकते हैं।
बिल्कुल। और सर कहीं ना कहीं इंडिया ने वही जवाब पाकिस्तान को दिया है ना, जब वो यूनाइटेड दिख रहे हैं आज अर्शदीप के सपोर्ट में।
यार देखो ना, अब देखो जब हम परफॉर्म करते हैं हमें कोई चेयर फोन करता है, ये लोग तो चेयर नहीं करते ना। तो इनका माइंड रद्द करना कोई जरूरी नहीं है। मैं पहले ही बोल चुका हूँ, जो असली जो देशभक्त होते हैं, जो असली जो लवर्स होते हैं, जो फैन होते हैं ना, वो ये सब हरकतें नहीं करते। ये सब चीप लोग करते हैं, होती है। इन लोगों को मना किया जाए, अपने परफॉर्म पर ध्यान दिया जाता।
शमी जी, आपसे आखिरी सवाल है मेरा। आप क्योंकि रिसीविंग एंड पे रह चुके हो ऐसे ट्रोलिंग के, अर्शदीप अभी स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं अपना करियर, आप उनको क्या मैसेज देना चाहोगे?
अभी तो वही तो बोला मैंने इन चीजों पर ध्यान ना देकर अपने गेम पर फोकस किया जाए। ये चीजें लाइफ में होती रहती हैं, अप एंड डाउन आते हैं हमेशा।
Right, there you heard Mohammad Shami, the same cricketer who was at the receiving end of trolls' abuse the last time, when he also, according to the troll standards, did not perform, or he was targeted basis his religion. Now, what's happened in another development? The IT Ministry has issued summons to Wikipedia officials to seek an explanation as to how Arshdeep Singh's Wikipedia page was vandalized. For more on this, I'm joined by Sabyasachi on the broadcast. Sabyasachi, thank you for joining us. What can you tell us about this meeting of the government and Wikipedia officials? Is it over? Is it underway? What is the latest and what are the key takeaways?
Well, absolutely. See, the meeting is slated to take place in the evening with the Wikipedia officials. As per the sources in the IT ministry, they have clearly mentioned that the government is quite serious about it because there was attempt to disarm the harmony between the two communities, and that is the reason why the IT Ministry Secretary Nikhil Sharma will personally be taking this meeting and will be taking explanation from the Wikipedia officials. We had seen that Ashwini Vaishnav as well as MOS, IT and Communication, both of them has taken cognizance of this matter. Both of them has come to Twitter and has stated that this can't be tolerated and Wikipedia must explain. But there is a larger conspiracy behind it because Wikipedia, as we know, is a page that anybody can go and edit. But the IP address which has been traced, it has been traced to Murray in Pakistan. But this particular IP address has been active for quite some time because in the Wikipedia page of the UAE, which had some critical content against Pakistan, that particular content was also being changed by using this particular IP address. So clearly the agenda and the narrative behind these trolls, behind attacking Arshdeep Singh is quite larger. The picture is quite larger because they wanted to create disharmony between the two communities, and that is why the government is quite serious about it. And they have immediately issued summons to the Wikipedia officials and have wanted them to come up with an answer because in 2020 also the IT ministry has warned Wikipedia about anti-India narrative, specifically about the Khalistani angle as well. Back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Sabyasachi, for joining us on the broadcast. I'm joined by another caller, Abdul, who's calling us from Navi Mumbai. Abdul, thank you for calling us. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. Actually, I wanted to make 2 points. One is that this India-Pakistan match is so much hyped in news channels and everywhere that people start taking it not as a sport, but as if something that it is nothing less than a war. So first of all, the hype that has been created actually leads to all these things where people cannot digest a sporting event, where a normal catch which was dropped could have happened anywhere with any player. But then the match was so close that nobody actually wanted that. And unfortunately, it happened to Arshdeep. And poor guy started getting trolled for unnecessary, and secondly, I think, am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. And second point is that people actually who are lovers of the game, they understand what is happening. So they take it as a sporting thing. But people who are like, you can call it, they don't understand the game. They only see it as two countries and two, unfortunately, warring nations which are playing. So any lapse maybe is taken as if it is you are losing that war. That is what a point I wanted to make. That one should understand that it is only a game.
All right.
And we should give our youngsters, this fellow Arshdeep is such a bright prospect for India that we should actually groom him. And it is heartening to see that all the players, actually, it was very heartening to see.
Absolutely.
That
all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdul, for calling us on the broadcast. And with that, I would like to thank all the callers who've called us from different parts of this country to express your views and to fairly criticize Arshdeep. This means a lot to this broadcast and, of course, the cricketer himself. And thank you so much, Nikhil, for joining us and being with us at the start of the broadcast. And my apologies if I've extended this conversation, but the kind of callers we were getting, I couldn't resist, listening to their views and sharing it with our viewers, because these are the real supporters. These are the real fans of the game. So thank you so much for being with us on the broadcast, Nikhil.
Thank you so much. It was great to hear all the callers and some real insightful conversations there.